What's up, my know-it-alls? Well, it's that time again. That's right. It's Thursday, which means it's time for Strange New Worlds. So hopefully you're settled down for the evening. You're sitting down together, turn the lights down low, and you want to watch a nice, cozy, scary episode of Strange New Worlds. So here we are, episode 9. It's titled All Those Who Wander. Well, I'll tell you what, today's a very unusual episode. So yesterday I had to go to the doctor's. I had to have something done, and so I am in a mild bit of pain at the moment. And so, but I really wanted to get this done because I really wanted to see the episode. I also want to be consistent, so we're gonna go ahead and keep this short and sweet today. The episode's it's a horror story. It's exactly what it is. The crew is having to face and deal with a mission they have been sent on to retrieve another ship that has gone missing, and the captain of said ship is left. There's a voice message on the ship and whatnot, and they find it and all that. But specifically, it's also a celebration of Uhura's, and there's another cadet whose name I can't remember at the second, but there's two cadets who are essentially graduating from having served, I say graduating, forgive me, who have completed their cadet training on Enterprise. There's another ensign who is promoted to a lieutenant, and that comprises the away team, plus some senior staff like Hemmer and Mbenga and Chapel and Spock, as well as Pike. And they all go down to this planet. They find where the ship had to do an emergency landing. There's a brief joke about how all landings on starships are essentially emergency because starships aren't designed to land, or at least that's not their preferred method of arriving. The entire episode is centered around on this ship. You find out that they discovered and found they found a distress signal. They found some people. Later on, La'an confirms these people were actually refugees from a Gorn breeding planet. So the entire crew of this previous ship is dead, and they find them. They find them throughout the thing and whatnot. And there's all this like jump scares and this whole thing, and so the entire episode is centered around sort of there's a couple of storylines, the threads that are going. The first is that Uhura is very much still trying to find out what her purpose is, who she is, what's not. Hemmer kind of talks to her briefly and says, "Hey, my purpose is to fix broken things." Thematically, that comes back around toward the end of the episode, and so Uhura is very much in the mindset. All right, well, I'm just gonna go home because clearly, since I haven't found it yet, Starfleet may not be for me. So she's on this away mission. They're all on the away mission, and they decide to go split because there's another rescue mission of some sort that needs, or it's an aid mission of some kind that has to happen. It's these batteries for a space station. The space station will go out if they don't, whatever, and if they take too long, the battery's going to die. So Lon actually early on comes up with the plan. Well, we go ahead and split everybody up. We'll do an away team down on the planet. They'll go handle that. By the time they're finished, the crew should be finished. The Enterprise should be finished delivering those very special needed things, and then they will shuttle it off over to they'll come back and pick them up. All right, so then they find out about this whole Gorn thing, and again, thematically with the season, the Gorn again is a villain. So just last week, Mrs. Know-it-all and I were discussing the fact that eventually, for us to get to the TOS era of Star Trek, there are some people that have to leave. This is an episode that's got people leaving and jumping ship left and right. I say that, but it's not really that bad. On the planet, they find a survivor, a little girl who La'an immediately gravitates to because she reminds her of her. There's another alien of unknown origin who ultimately, he's the one that has the Gorn in him, and they hatch. So you have 4 of them. One of them kills one immediately right at birth, which leaves you 3. And of the 3, they manage to they attack another one, and ultimately you're left with 2. So now with 2, the crew, everybody comes up with a plan. And they're gonna lure them into a specific area, mainly because Gorn don't like cold. This is a cold planet. That's why most of the other ship's crew was outside, is because they actually managed to get the thing outside in order to help kill it. Meanwhile, so Hammer and everybody get the new ship powered up and everything ready and whatnot, so they can eventually get it out in space and take it back. Their mission's either to find out about the crew and or rescue them and or bring back the ship at the very least. It's this cat and mouse game that they're playing with the Gorn, and ultimately Hammer realizes that he has been infected and he has to with Gorn eggs somehow, and he's gonna have. So what he does is he goes outside the little thing, and he sacrifices himself. Hammer is now gone. It's sad. I don't know how I feel about the loss of Hammer, and so, but we'll one thing at a time. So anyway, the idea that somehow this. I feel like the recurring enemy of the Gorn this early on. I don't know. I feel I'm okay with it, I guess, but at the same time, I'm trying to figure out. I guess we never knew the Gorn were this big of a threat, and it felt. But again, I don't lose sleep over that stuff. Whatever. The show is amazing. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed what they were doing. The effects are phenomenal. The jump scares are good. Again, we've got Seamus McKirk. Whatever. I'm just kidding. I know it's not his name. Samuel Kirk. Who is here to essentially just be window dressing and to yell at Spock for being unemotional. And so I'm I keep trying to figure out why he's here, and the only motivation I can come up with is he's here in order to eventually get us to James T. Kirk. But whatever. So when you see them act as bait, there's this moment where they get them to an area, but the creature's not coming out of they lured him into the air system, whatever, and so they're supposed to come toward him. He's not, and so Lon's like, you got to challenge him, and so Spock does this quick thing. Now, people would say he tapped into his anger, but he actually does a thing, and by a thing I mean a Vulcan thing, because he says very quickly and very quietly, he's like, rage of my heart, anger, blah, 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 or something, come into my heart. And essentially, he's releasing the anger to be in him. And so with that proper motivation, he goes out and he challenges it. He's like, and he pulls the thing out and gets it come out. The two of them are now trapped in an area, the two Gorn. And one of them fights the other one, and ultimately you are left with the alpha, the survivor. And Lon realizes only one person's going to be able to outrun this thing, and that's her, because she knows exactly what she's running from. Ergo, she will run. She will be very fleet of foot, as it were. So, yeah, it's a pretty good. It's cool. I like. Ultimately, I like where they take this thing, and then getting to see the sacrifice of Hammer and whatnot, and ultimately at the very end you see a little bit of brief funeral, and then you get this really nice button moment where Uhura steps onto the bridge, and you see this slow pullback to the communications area, and you get the sense that, all right, she's gonna become. I believe she's gonna stay, mainly because Hammer tells her, listen, stay with people, plant yourself down with people. They will surprise you and make you happier way more than they'll disappoint you. And so I believe she's going to make the decision to stay, and she'll probably be Ensign Uhura at that point. So I'm interested to see kind of where that direction of that goes. La'an, also at the very, very end of this thing, discovers that the little girl may have some relatives. They're outside of Federation space. And so she asked for extended shore leave of absence, rather. So that means Hammer, as well as La'an, are now gone. That's Chief of Security, and that's also Chief Engineer. What do you guys think the over/under is? I'd love to hear your opinions. So comment below. Let me know what you think of the over/under on whether or not we're going to get a young Scotty or someone else who predates Scotty, or possibly even someone else who maybe comes with a junior officer named Scotty. I'll see, but I have a feeling we're gonna start getting some more people little by little, especially getting closer and closer. It's episode 9. We're getting awfully close to the end of this particular road, where we know for a fact we're gonna get James T. Kirk the next season. So I'm very excited to kind of see where that direction that goes in. So yeah, man, there you go. There you go. Now you know. And if knowing is half the battle, you're halfway to being a know-it-all yourself. So what is my know-it-all index for today? I'm going to say this episode is I enjoyed it. I did enjoy it. I actually find no faults with this episode. It was good on all sides. It had... I don't know that it had anything I would have changed. Not really. I think I like everything about this episode. So, yeah, man, you know what that means. We got our very first Star Trek 10 out of 10. Let's go. 10 out of 10 for me. This is a fun episode. If there are no faults, in my opinion, and I didn't find any, really. I didn't bump into anything in this episode. And it feels like this episode's sort of the gateway to another level of what we're going through and what we're experiencing. So, yeah, man, comment below. Let me know what you think. I'd love to hear your opinion on the episode. And, of course... Mrs. Know-It-All and I are going to... We skipped Trek Talk Tuesday this week because we actually have coming out... most likely coming out later today, in fact. We're going to be doing a full-on... The Orville review of the season so far. So we finally got a chance to sit down and watch it. My wife and I love seasons 1 and 2. We'll talk a little bit about that. So, yeah, man, we'd love to hear your comments, love to hear your thoughts. But, yeah, man, never forget... Everyone loves to know it all.